To the rural news now with Sally Murphy. Kia ora, Sally.
Good morning.
Now the race is on to harvest trees felled by Cyclone Gabrielle.
Yes, in particular the forest estate in the central North Island, where 6,000 hectares of trees fell over. Marcus Munson from the management company Forest 360 says that volume of trees would normally take years to harvest, but now they only have a few months to salvage them before they're unusable. That in itself creates a problem because there aren't enough logging trucks to physically haul so much wood in a short time. But also, he says, while some of it will be exported unprocessed, a lot of the logs were destined for local sawmills, so the downstream impact of losing the harvest profile will be massive.
A lot of those forests were pruned forests, so the local pruned sawmills were relying on those logs for that period of time, so they'll have to look for volume outside of the central North Island region.
And how far away are the sawmills that would have been going to?
So there's a sawmill in Taupo, there's another one in Tararu, Rotorua, so there's a number of them around the country. And
they'll now have to hunt for pruned logs from elsewhere. Do they exist?
Yeah, they exist, definitely, but it just means you've got to bring them from sort of outlying regions, and there's obviously a freight component with that, so it's additional cost.
Marcus Munson says most of the pruned log resource ends up as clearwood in overseas markets like Europe.
Now, there is a significant shortage of veterinarians nationwide, and something like 150. But one woman has a solution to the problem.
They do, yeah. A vet recruiting firm wants the age cap axed from the working holiday visa program to help ease the crisis around large animal vets. Veterinarians are on the government's list of needed critical workers, but at present, working holiday visas are only given to people under 35. Owner of VetStaff, Julie South, says if that was lifted, more people doing their second or third OE could visit and help fill vacant positions. She says the government also needs to scrap the accredited employer status for green list businesses, those acknowledged as having critical staff requirements, because it's a hindrance.
So that regardless of age, somebody can come to New Zealand and work for as long as they want to work here, whether it's 1 month, because some vets can only get 1 month off from their home practice, or 3 months, that they can come here and work for however long they want to work. Let's say that a 54-year-old vet who wants to come to New Zealand and they want to move from clinic to clinic to clinic. Under the current regime, they can only work for accredited employers. So every time they go to a different clinic, they have to get the paperwork all signed up. Then they have to do it again for the next clinic. They can't just go from any clinic without all the paperwork. Like somebody on a working holiday visa who's under 35 years right now can just go around the country working at whatever clinics, and those clinics don't need to be accredited employers when they're on a working holiday visa.
Julie South says getting rid of the age cap on working holiday visas would also benefit the dairy sector, truckies, or people wanting to just do a spring lambing beat and then go home.
Now a little bit of good news for dairy farmers. Prices have risen to their best level in a couple of months.
Yeah, this is at the Global Dairy Auction overnight. The average price increased 2.5% to $3,506 a tonne. Now that follows a 3.2% rise in the previous auction. The price of whole milk powder rose 5% to $3,230 a tonne, and prices for other products were also higher, with strong gains for butter and cheddar and a solid rise in skim milk powder. And that's the rural news.
Kia ora, Sally Murphy there with